Good evening, everybody. This is Jamil here, and I'm making this video in response to a commentator on the Stargirl Duelist Facebook page. I'm thinking about posting this on YouTube as well because I want more World Chalice players out in the mix. Because this deck, although it's very fun, it can be extremely competitive as well. Now, how to go about this? Well, first off, we have to identify the weaknesses of the deck. The weakness of the deck, although it's very powerful and it's very explosive, it's very frail in terms of its plays, depending on where it gets stopped. However, that also, now since we know this, we would teeter our deck to this, but instead, I've seen a lot of deck profiles, I've seen a lot of trap cards being played, I've seen a lot of hand traps being played, and although they're good for interacting with your opponent, that leaves you lackluster in your area in terms of actually making really good plays, good decent plays. And the problem to fix with the frailness is you need to run extenders. I don't see enough combo extenders, and that's the problem. You need so many extenders like Zodiacs, to the point to where no matter how much you get stopped, you can always continue to play. And so commentator asked me to make a tutorial video as to how I make these boards. What kind of boards do I mean? I mean boards like Decode Talker, Naturia Beast, Archlord Christia. I have Proxy Dragon early, which Proxy Dragon is the one thing we needed to ensure our board cannot be broken by ordinary or even extraordinary means. The only thing that could break these kind of boards would be raw sphere mode. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and shuffle our deck up. There you go. Ready to cut. Now let's go ahead and draw 5 cards. So, okay. We got, okay, we got the Venus, so that's good, but this isn't, although this is a good card to open, it means nothing if you don't have your legacy or access to legacy, i.e. Lee. And so, you're going to need other extenders, i.e. White Elephant's Gift. I have not seen anybody really play this card. It is really, really good in the Venus build. It's an instant +1. I don't understand why people don't play it. I don't play enough vanillas. I only play 3 of these and one of the Fire Psychic guy, and you'll see in a second. But I am also playing Recover as well. This is the card we're going to use to make Naturia Beast. It's an Earth, level 1 tuner. It's also a Psychic along with the Fire guy, so you can use the Emergency Teleport, which I am using. It is really good in a sense, but if I can make this play work, then it'll be solid. So, I'm going to start by summoning Venus. Now, the thing about White Elephant's Gift is that it can also fix your awkward hands, in a sense. Because it gives you 2 cards, and you don't have to really pay costs from hand, so it's a +1. So I'm going to activate effect. I'm going to go through the deck, and we're going to go ahead and summon our 3 Shine Balls. Alright, now that the Shine Balls are shuffled, the deck is shuffled, the deck's going to get cut. Now, we're going to play our White Elephant's Gift. Since it's a non-effect monster, we can sack off the Shine Ball, and we can draw 2 more cards. Okay, we got Brilliant Fusion. That's what again, White Elephant's Gift. If it weren't for White Elephant's Gift, I wouldn't have gotten access to it. Now, I have access to Lee, which gives me access to Legacy, which gives us exactly what we need. You know, let me put my graveyard over here so I can have you guys follow with me. So Lee gets sent to the graveyard, and you want to play Lazuli and an Obsidian. I have Garden in here because I don't own Obsidian, so that is a bummer. It is a bummer I don't have Obsidian. But Obsidian reads, if it's sent from the hand to the graveyard, you can special summon any normal monster from your graveyard, which is another extender. And this is just in case you just so happen to draw it. If you don't draw it, I mean, you're still going to end up Lazuli, but if you do draw it, then you're getting something from it. So Lazuli's effect's going to activate, And since I did sack off the shine ball, I want to get it back to my hand. And with this, I want to go ahead and usually and get Seraphonite off the board, because I do want to make a link starter here. Now, from here, generally you would end up sacking shine balls. You would use one for Imduke, and you have one left over. But since you have to work around this, you have to work around what you have. The good news is I did bring the shine ball back to my hand, so this can work. You're going to start with Imduke. You're not going to use your extra normal summon for Imduke because you want to use it for Legacy. And you can't use it, the Seraphonite normal summon, because it's no longer on the field. So, with that being said, we're going to link our Imduke and our shine ball, and we're going to summon Ib, the World Chalice Priestess. Oops, my bad. Now, since Imduke hit the graveyard, I can now summon any World Chalice from the hand. So Lee is going to get summoned most definitely. Now, at that point, we are going to search our Legacy. Hope you guys are following, because this is probably where it gets good. So, now that we've done that, our go-to for the extra monster zone up here, for the most part, is always going to be Oram. So now that we've done that, generally you want to go Ib. Actually, I am going to summon Ib. I'm going to use Ib's effect, and I'm going to summon back in straight from the hand. Now I'm going to activate Venus, and I'm going to pay life points, and I'm going to summon Shine Ball. With that, I'm going to link summon into another Imduke. Now, in this build, I only play 2 because that's all you really need. You don't really need multiples. But now we're going to get our extra tribute summon, like so. And that is why I proceeded with my tribute, with summoning him, because I did not want to tribute off the Venus, because we were going to use it to continue our combo. We had no other World Chalice in hand, so we were going to be stuck without making Ib. So we're going to link into said Ib, and we're going to use our Legacy. Now, generally, if you do have another World Chalice in hand, you want to make this Chain Link 1 and Imduke Chain Link 2, so your Legacy can get covered, so it doesn't get striked or Ash Blossomed at all. And that's really important. Always keep that in mind. Make sure that your Legacy can be a Chain Link 1. So, now that we have our 2, we can go and make that Gusto Emerald. So we have our Emerald, and now we want to shuffle all the Shine Balls back in. I mean, it's pretty standard, but there are some times where you want to only shuffle 2 Shine Balls in an Imduke in case you need that extra bridge, depending on your hand. So keep that in mind. You always want to teeter your targets based on what you have and what you actually need to get there. You don't want to make the same plays over and over again, depending on what your hand is. You always want to make sure that your build, or that you can modify your plays whichever you see fit. Okay, we got Guard Dragon. So we're going to pay again for Venus, like so. And with Venus, you want to be sure, this part of the combo, you want to start paying one at a time, because you can accidentally clog your board. You can accidentally clog your board a little too hard and make it to where you get stuck in an awkward spot that you can't really get out of unless you're using like Venus. So we're going to pay again. We're going to link summon again. We're going to go into... Ooh, where is it? Link Spider. There you are. We're going to Link Spider. So that's good so far. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to link summon again. We are going to link summon these 2. This is important. We're going to go into Ningishu. Leave this spot open. Leave the rightmost spot open, because that's where you're going to summon your Onitiri Beast. Now you're going to use Ningirsu's effect is going to be Chain Link 1, and Ib is going to be Chain Link 2. So you're going to special the Guard Dragon here, and you're going to draw 3 cards. I don't think I cut the deck, so here we go. Okay, so that's not very good. We drew into our Shine Ball. We were hoping to dig it out of the deck, but that's okay. Because we're going to pay again. We're going to pay. We're going to summon the Shine Ball. Keep the Guard Dragon here for your combo. So now we're going to use the Shine Ball and the Ningirsu into Firewall Dragon. Ningirsu is going to be... Actually, Firewall Dragon can keep its effect for now. But for now, we're going to take the time to use Aram's effect. And it reads, you can tribute off a World Chalice that it points to and target a monster in your graveyard, special summon it to a link marker it points to. So you're going to tribute off your Guard Dragon, and you're going to take your back end, and you're going to special summon it. Now, since a monster that Firewall Dragon points to has left the field, you can special summon a monster from your hand. Normally, with Recover, you would end up discarding it to grab Lee from grave to hand, but since we had to dump Lee, and we had to get the Seraphonite off the field, we had no choice but to do that instead. So, we're going to special summon our Recover. Now, we're going to Synchro Summon into Materia Beast. Now another card is left our board. Now, with that being said, we can summon another monster from our hand with Firewall Dragon. Granted, this isn't the part where you would make it. I did make a slight misplay. Let me go back. We're going to use our Venus and our Aram next. We're going to use those two and make our... Actually, no. We you know what? We were right. It was fine. Yeah, it was fine. The way it was. Okay. But then again, you do want to put Christie here, so I actually did right. We're going to Link Summon into Deco Talker. Since we still have a Firewall effect, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Okay, we have 6 in the graveyard, so that could be a problem. Normally, you could just use Firewall to bounce at least one of them, because you're generally not having access to Seraphonite. So, what you're wanting to do at this point is you want to summon you want to essentially use Firewall effect to summon Christia from hand, since Christia can still be special summoned by ordinary means. Now, to make the Proxy Dragon, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Actually, not really. We're going to Synchro Summon these two. We're going to make our Naturia Beast. Firewall Dragon's effect is going to activate. It's going to allow me to summon any monster from my hand. Since I don't need Recover, I can summon another Recover. Simple enough. Now, this will be summoned here. Our vanilla. Okay. Now we're going to use our Guard Dragon from the graveyard. Now we're going to banish it. And we're going to target any normal monster in the grave and we're going to summon it. We're going to summon our Beckon because that's the strongest thing we have. Now if you could summon Lee, you can... if you can summon Lee, I would recommend doing that if it's in your hand. If you didn't have the Guard Dragon in your grave, you could always end up linking with these two to make your Proxy Dragon, and then make Firewall Dragon Chain Link 1 to summon Christia last, and Ib Chain Link 2 to summon your Lee here and summon your Christia here. So, with this being said, you're going to link the Ib and the Recover into your Proxy Dragon. Now I've used 14 extra decks. I have one extra deck monster left in my extra deck, and it's Proxy Dragon. Now, since another monster that he points to got sent to the grave, I can special summon another card or monster from my hand, i.e. Christia. And that is how you make your board of Deco Talker, Naturi Beast, Firewall Dragon, Proxy Dragon, Arsenal Christia. Your opponent, neither player can special summon monsters, so your opponent can't special. Your opponent cannot activate spells, and they can't board. And if they have some sort of way to board wipe you, or let's say to get your monster off the board, even then so, you have Proxy Dragon to protect it, because it reads here: if cards you control be destroyed with a battle by card effect that includes himself, you can destroy this card instead. So let's say you didn't have access to your Naturia Beast play. You can still make Proxy Dragon, and they can try to play Raigeki, and you could destroy this instead. And then most people would attempt to try to, and/or people would attempt to try to run over Proxy Dragon so they can play their board wipe later. And so you would still use Proxy Dragon to destroy this instead. They can Raigeki you, and you can destroy this instead. They still can't special summon. You essentially win the game. Now against True Dracos, it was tough before we had this, because normally all they would have to do would be to tribute a trap card to summon Ignis Heat or Dynamite Knuckle, and the trap card would attempt to destroy Christia, but Christia would have to be next to Ib at all times, and that would get stopped. But now we have Proxy Dragon. They can't just kill Christia and or run this over. You have to blow through 2 cards just to get to the Christia or the Naturia Beast, because it also protects your monster from battle. So with that being said, now even a True Draco matchup is going to have an extreme difficult time dealing with this board. And again, if you don't have a Naturia Beast play, you still have your Deco Talker to back you up when it comes to things like targeting like Forbidden Chalice and things like, you know, your True Draco trap cards that you have to go against. Things of that matter. So the Deco Talker is just extra. It's just extra insult to injury. And so guys, I hope this gave you an insight as to why I play the cards that I play. Now, I don't think I'm necessarily going to go into a deck profile, because Stargirl / World Chalice is, again, it's a deck that's like Zodiacs. It's a deck full of tech choices, and essentially you have to find the tech choices that make the deck work. Now, me personally, I main deck 2 Kaijus. I don't own Gamma Seal, so that if I had them, they would be in here instead. But again, the worst matchup with World Chalice is True Dracos, i.e. Masterpiece, because literally nothing in the deck can out it if they tribute off a monster. Now, I don't run 3 because it will clog too much, but I will run 2 so I can have the out on a semi-regular basis based on what I'm drawing. So, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something from my tutorial, and I hope that you can take some of these ideas that I've had and some of the things that I have went over and apply them to your deck. And so guys, thank you very much, and you guys have a good day.